petitions and remonstrances from the lobby?
Yeah, we have 4, Mr. President. Colleen Hurst. Subject is general.
Colleen Hurst, 211 Warren Avenue. First, I wanted to point out that someone forgot to put the flags at half-mast today, as we remember Pearl Harbor Day, and I want to thank all of the servicemen and women, past and present, that are with us today. Let we never forget the sacrifices of our soldiers nor the ravages of war. Now, as you may have read previously, I acknowledge that the mayor has made some solid decisions during his tenure, and I find fault with the assumption that every decision being made is a good one. It's irrational to believe that he hasn't made mistakes. The mayor told me himself that he takes nothing personally because if he did, he couldn't do his job. Yet he publicly projects blame on those who disagree with some of his decisions as some sort of petty personal reaction. Worse, he's used the local media as a tool to air his grievances towards and blame at the fire department. I've heard him blame the fire department for, and this is at previous meetings, excessive overtime, being a burden on the budget, and causing cutbacks to other departments. Yet he fails to take any responsibility for budget shortfalls upon himself. Now, through the council president to the mayor, I'm not here to name call. My purpose here is the same as when I first began speaking here, to hold officials accountable. I may not tell you what you want to hear, but I will always give you my honest opinion, and I attempt to research before I speak. If you ask for help, I give sincere, honest effort, regardless of my personal opinions on issues. Let me clue you in on something. Life is not black and white. Just because myself or others may not agree with some of your decisions, outcomes, and attitudes does not make us the enemy, as you have the media depicting. I can't speak for anyone or everyone, but the input and suggestions that I put out here are based on opinions and ideas from what is said to or around me, combined with some of my own thoughts. Thoughts, not grudging personal attacks. One of your many responsibilities includes diligence and communication, following up with those to whom you've made contact for whatever reason. I mention this because this is where part of the perception that I've mentioned in my November 2nd address comes from. The perception that who you are or who you know dictates who listens or responds to you. I think most of us would agree that if you ignore and dismiss public concerns as stemming from ignorance and rebuke opportunities for sincerely connecting with the public without an agenda, the public will take notice and react accordingly. People with heartfelt interest in making this city succeed are being ignored and blown off when you should be taking the opportunity to reach out to them, connecting with and communicate with them because they have an obvious passion to make Elyria great. Isn't that what you've been trying to do since you were elected? That's your driving goal? A goal that impacts decision-making about things like the addition of flower beds on 57 to beautify a main thoroughfare, the push to get a new city hall, a municipal courthouse, and the new high school, and the creation of the river walkways in Cascade Park. Periodically shrugging off people like Teresa, Larry, and Holly, and others, passing up opportunities to make use of their passions, energy, and willingness to help, this type of behavior only serves to divide a city instead of instilling a sense of pride and community spirit that helps a city become successful. Only the arrogant or the fool would fail to make use of volunteer resources. To council and the audience, our own state representative, Matt Lundy, has suggested to the media something to the effect that the recall people are inconsiderate and are being unnecessarily disruptive and wasteful, and that they are just overreacting. Frankly, although I'm not on the recall committee, I take offense to this categorization of the recall effort and its supporters as being not well thought out and wasteful, because as a voter, I've given a lot of thought and research, including meeting with the mayor himself, about concerns and questions that I've had. It seems like Lundy is trying to trivialize the recall movement. More than 2,600 signatures is not trivial. And shame on Matt Lundy for his attempts to depict public concern as overreactive, non-thinking, and wasteful. Associations with people who are rude in this manner is one reason why the mayor has earned some of his negative public perception. Another reason, through council president to the mayor, is because you haven't changed your behavior or attitudes toward your public, because you see them as black and white instead of shades of gray. You come across with the attitude that you're either with me or you're the enemy, and that's simply not true for most people. Contrary to what Lundy thinks, we are thinking, we are intelligent, and we are exercising our rights within our democratic political organization. No one has the right to take that away or reduce it to the toddler tantrum that it's been turned into. I also take serious issue with this resolution that's going to be on its second reading tonight, with council being asked to vote collectively in support of the mayor against the recall. Isn't such a thing to be left up to individual opinion? Perhaps I misunderstand the point of the request, but it seems like a waste of time to read, discuss, and vote on whether or not council or the city in general should or should not support things like a county sales tax levy, a library levy, or taking the mayor's side in the recall election. It comes across as trying to impose a specific opinion or agenda on a collective that is inherently entitled to individual opinions and subsequent expressions. Buying up a former website of the opposition regarding the mayor's job performance seems like the people that are trying to help the mayor save his job are intentionally trying to confuse public awareness of the Stand Up Elyria's origins and gain support for the exact opposite of its significance. A wise business decision? Yes. If you're trying to market something, what better way than to use the opposition's own tools against them? Ethical? Questionable. The intentional manipulation of public for your own gain is exactly what is wrong with corporate and political America these days. Just because it isn't illegal doesn't mean it's ethical. Nobody likes salespeople. Why? The underhanded, opportunistic, self-serving tactics like this. Whatever happened to moral responsibility and honor among professionals? We expect those traits in criminals, not in leaders. Food for thought. In England, some members of parliament are finally being put on trial for abusing finances and financial reporting at their posts. This case took quite a while to come to this point. Consider this. If citizens and businesses are reluctant to speak out, sign petitions, offer services to a group opposing leadership, or take any other action to bring leadership to justice because they're worried about repercussions, what does that tell you about the leadership? It tells me that the leader these people are worried about crossing is likely using his or her position illegally, or at least unethically. Professional intimidation, blackmailing, withholding services, offering or receiving kickbacks, and others are exactly the reason people and businesses need to assist groups that are trying to remove leaders that employ these practices. Leaders, especially elected ones, who make use of unethical tactics should not be allowed to continue in positions of public service. The only reason political leadership gets away with screwing the public is because we let them, through our complacency and by allowing scare tactics and manipulations to continue. We didn't get to be America by rolling over it and playing patsy in the face of unfairness and irresponsibility. It only takes a single voice to start a revolution. We are revolutionary, aren't we? By the people, for the people. The point is, whether it's primary, presidential, or special election, your vote is your voice. Use it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.